Your dog and your cat are speaking two completely different languages, and neither of them knows it. When a dog wags its tail, it means come closer, let's play. When a cat's tail does the exact same motion, it means back off right now. Same signal, opposite meaning. That's not a personality clash. That's a translation error happening in your living room every single day. And once you see how deep this miscommunication actually goes, you'll never watch your pets the same way again. Most people think cats and dogs fight because of personality. Cats are independent, dogs are social, and the conflict is just two different temperaments clashing. That's wrong. The real issue isn't personality, it's signal language. Cats and dogs evolved two completely separate systems for communicating emotion and intention. And in several critical ways, those systems are directly inverted. Start with that tail. A dog wags when it's excited and wants to engage. The motion means approach me. A cat's tail flicks and puffs when it's alarmed or agitated. The same kind of motion means do not come closer. So a dog sees a cat's agitated flicking tail and reads it as an invitation. It gets more excited. It moves closer. It wags harder. The cat sees a fast-moving animal approaching with an agitated tail, which in cat language signals danger, and prepares to defend itself. The dog is saying hello. The cat is reading an attack. Both are fluent in their own language. Neither understands the others. Now, the eyes. In dog language, direct eye contact is a sign of friendly attention. A dog holding your gaze is being polite and engaged. In cat language, prolonged direct eye contact is a dominance challenge. Breaking eye contact first is how cats de-escalate. Holding it is how they threaten. So when a dog walks up to a cat, maintaining the same direct stare that's polite in dog society, the cat isn't seeing friendliness. It's seeing a challenge from something much bigger than it. And then there's posture. A dog's play bow, front legs down, rear end up, bouncing forward, is one of the clearest I want to play signals in the animal kingdom. But to a cat, a large animal lowering its front half while holding eye contact and moving in fast doesn't look playful. It looks like the exact posture a predator takes right before it strikes. The dog thinks it's inviting a game. The cat thinks it's watching an attack begin. Every single friendly signal the dog sends is being received by the cat as a threat, and what happens next makes it worse. The cat hisses and swipes, which, in dog cognitive terms, looks exactly like prey behavior. Something small, fast, and sharp sounding. That triggers the dog's predatory instinct to layer on top of its social instinct. It gets even more amped up. The cat reads that as the threat escalating and escalates its own defense further. What started as a pure translation error now looks to any outside observer like a genuine fight. But here's the part that changes everything. Cats and dogs raised together from a young age often don't fight at all. They develop something researchers call cross-species communication. During a critical early window, they actually learn each other's signals. A puppy raised around cats learns that a slow blink means calm, not nothing. A kitten raised around dogs learns that a wagging tail isn't a threat. They become bilingual in body language, and that changes the whole story. The fighting was never proof that cats and dogs are fundamentally incompatible. It was proof of a communication failure, one that disappears the moment both sides learn to translate, which makes sense. Once you consider the timeline, dogs have lived alongside humans for tens of thousands of years. Cats, only a fraction of that time, and for most of it, the two species barely crossed paths. Dogs worked with humans directly. Cats operated independently, keeping rodents away from grain stores. They shared human settlements, but rarely shared space. Putting them in the same living room, expected to get along instantly, is a historically new experiment, one with almost no evolutionary preparation behind it. So, if the problem is really translation, not incompatibility, the obvious question is, can you actually speed that process up? Turns out, yes, and it comes down to controlling exactly the signals we just talked about. The first mistake almost everyone makes is forcing the introduction, carrying the cat up to the dog or holding the dog back on a leash while it strains toward the cat floods both animals with exactly the wrong signals. Fast movement, direct approach, no ability to retreat. Instead, the animals need to be able to see and smell each other from a distance with an easy escape route before they're ever close enough to misread a tail or a stare. Scent actually matters more here than sight. Swapping a blanket or a piece of bedding between the two animals before they ever meet face to face lets each one build a safe association with the other's smell first, so by the time they do meet, the smell alone is already familiar instead of alarming. Feeding them on opposite sides of a closed door is another one that works surprisingly well. It teaches both animals to associate the other's presence with something calm and positive. Food without any of the visual signals that usually get misread. And when they do finally meet face to face, the dog's energy matters more than anything else in the room. A calm, slow-moving dog gives the cat time to observe without feeling hunted. An excited, fast-approaching dog, even one that's just trying to play, recreates the exact predator posture problem we talked about earlier, which is why the most successful introductions almost always involve deliberately keeping the dog's arousal low, even if that means several short, boring sessions instead of one big meeting. None of this happens in a day, but every part of it is really just doing on purpose what naturally happens over months between animals raised together, building a shared vocabulary, signal by signal, before either one has a reason to panic. The cat that slow blinks at the dog it's lived with for 3 years isn't acting against its instincts. It's extended its own language to include a creature that, biologically, was never supposed to understand it. The dog that's learned to approach that same cat slowly, with its gaze turned away, has done something that took real learning too. That quiet moment, a cat and dog sleeping in the same spot, no tension at all, is one of the more remarkable cross-species achievements happening in ordinary homes every day. It just usually starts with someone ending up under the couch first. Follow so you don't miss it.